Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art. I'm back with another video. One thing I learned over the last year or so is that I am too generous for my own good. Now, what does that mean by too generous? What I mean by being too generous is that I do more for others than I do for myself. That's what that means. I try to do more for other people than most people do for me. And so, one thing I had to learn, this is my life, and that's good, but I had to learn how to live my own life. I have to learn how to live it better, the way I want to. And by me, helping out other people, that was distracting from my own personal life. So, learning this as I go along, uh, it's like 12:30 at night. I went to work this morning. I was going to film this when I got back, but what happened is my twin nieces were here, so they're all over the place. It's kind of hard to do all that stuff with them being there. So what happened was, about a week or so ago, Detective Comics 1000 came out. Okay, that is the traditional. That's the first comic book where Batman first appeared in the Detective Comics 39 back in the 1939 or something like that. So this is the second comic book that I ever known to reach 1,000 copies in America. That is 1,000 successful books. I'm pretty sure there's other in different countries, but I don't know about them. So, and what happened is there were 60 different covers that I know of. And plus, this is the 80th anniversary of Batman anyway. So I was like, wow, 60 covers? I'm surprised there wasn't 80 covers. There was rumored to be 80 covers, but only saw 60. And this one person had a copy of every 60 books. So I was like, wow. Now, the funny thing about it, each book is technically $10. So if you actually bought that and there's actually 60 covers, that's $600. And I noticed, by me helping other people out, taking them out to dinners and stuff like that, and not getting anything in return and all this other stuff, I could have bought all 60 covers with that money. But anyway, but that's to put it in hindsight. So let me show you a couple weeks ago, one of the last videos I did, I showed you one of the special covers I had bought. This is the regular newsstand version. Hmm. It's in the plastic. Let me take it out of the plastic. Front and back. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't have a good light, so I'm like, wow. This cover was done by one of the famous artists called Jim Lee, who is attending, who will be in Michigan next month. Hopefully, I get a chance to see him. This one is a homage to the 1940s Batman. This is the homage to the 1940s Batman stories. This cover is done by this guy named Bruce Timm. Now, Bruce Timm was the guy who brought the Batman animated television show in the early 90s and the Justice League. So, I mean, no one the same it's all the same story. It's just different covers. So, and I like a lot of his work. Now, the thing is that I didn't buy all these. I didn't. I got I got smart. Instead of going to like 15 different stores hunting down all of them, I just went to Amazon. I said, "Oh, I don't want these." There we go. This next one is one of my favorite ones. It's by an artist named Jim Steranko. He was a very, very deep, very, very good artist in the 70s. And I like his work. I liked his work especially when he was doing Nick Fury and the Agents of Shield. And there's a little dent in it. Oh well. There's a little dent in it. Okay, well. It's not gonna be a prize, but that's okay. The thing about it, you buy it from Amazon, you're gonna get dents and scrapes and all sorts of stuff. So, but anyway, this is one of my favorite covers, and this is the last one I got. So this is like the thing is, I spent about $60 for all four of these books because some are have less runs than others. This one was made by the famous Frank Miller, based off the Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which he wrote and drew. Back in the back in the 80s, Batman was going through the it was during the Adam West phase. You know, for example, this cover. This is the kind of silliness Batman was going through back in the 60s and stuff like that. 50s and 60s and close to the 70s. And then early 80s, they asked him to rewrite Batman. So he did. It was called Batman Year One. If you saw the Christian Bale trilogy of Batman, those movies was based off of a lot of his work. And basically, the definitive, if you saw Batman versus Superman, based off of Jim Miller's work, Frank Miller's work. Basically, the new Batman mythos of how he became Batman was based off of that. So it's pretty kind of cool. Well, even if you don't know who that guy was, I'm pretty sure you heard some of his other creations. How many of you heard of the movie Sin City? If you heard of the movie Sin City, he created Sin City, Frank Miller. He created the comic book, and he pretty much helped direct that movie. That's why the movie looks like a comic book. And also, there was another movie called The Spirit, which he directed himself too, which looks sort of like a comic book because he drew a couple of episodes. But then again, his most famous thing was 300. So if you saw 300 and you loved it, then that's Frank Miller's work. That was based off of his work. Now think about this. I've looked at this. The cover price of this is $9.99, which is $10. This is 40. I got another one which is 50. I gave one to my mom's husband, a copy like this one to my mom's husband because he loves Batman. So that's $60 worth of books. I could take a woman out. I can take a woman out. Actually, let me rephrase that. There was a woman that I took out. Spent that kind of money. And the only thing I got out of it was, oh, you're such a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Diminishing returns. At least with this $60 right here, I can keep these. I can admire them. I could set them aside, admire them, do whatever I want. Matter of fact, who knows? I might even sell these. Who knows? I don't care. But see, this is something I have tangible. I got this to keep. That dinner, nothing memorable happened at that dinner. Except for ended up getting heartburn and acid reflux from the pizza. But, and a lot of ambiguity. But this is what I mean by treating yourself first. And I'm starting, and the thing is, it's nice to treat yourself first. I mean, because you look around, it's like this. I've been treating all these other people better than I treated myself. And that's wrong. I treated women better than I treated myself. I would go without food just to make sure this one person had some money, which they went out and partied with. And I'm sitting around here like, why am I starving? My bills are paid. I pay my bills. And my disposable income, instead of doing something like this, I blow it on somebody else. And I look up and it's like, wow, what do you get? And the thing is, I look up, what do I have to show for it? Well, here's proof of what I got for this. To some people, this might be silly, but to some people, that might be silly, but the idea is simple. When you're spending your money, your hard-earned money on other people who don't give a damn about you, are they the losers or are you the loser? That's something you gotta answer for yourself. So, like I said, I'm learning to spend more of my time on me. So, with that, it's Sunday morning, and I think I'm gonna try to get some sleep in a minute. Or surf the net. I don't know. We'll find out. Talk to you later.